My baby mama's is staying with us to help with our newborn. This woman can eat rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So these days, I'm leaning towards rice meals as I'm slowly converting her to enjoy some foreign foods from time to time. Today, I'll be making something Chinese style as our main dish. But if you live in an Asian style household, you'll know I have to make like 10 other dishes. As you see, I threw some pork fat and skin into a pot and just onto the stove, oiled up an eggplant on camera. Is this OnlyFans or YouTube, baby? And now I'm roughly chopping my way through a giant bunch of green onions. This will be a roasted eggplant dish that is usually done on a grill, but I'm gonna take this nice oven that I have in my new home for a test drive. I'm sorry I've been gone for so long, guys. I had a new baby, I moved homes, and once you kind of stop doing something like making videos, it's really hard to get that stone moving again. And I also want to make some changes to the channel, which I'll probably address in this video here for my current subscribers that are watching. This is wintermelon, and I'll use it to make a really simple, classic Vietnamese style side soup. Nearly every Vietnamese rice meal, you'll need to make some type of heavily vegetable-based side soup. I went with the wintermelon today because I haven't had it in a while and I think it's delicious, plus very easy to clean compared to picking and cleaning a giant bunch of green vegetables. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got no time. I gotta go to Home Depot, maybe Bed Bath & Beyond. Seriously though, I'm so happy to be a brand new dad, but this baby does not sleep from 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. It's a whole thing. I love her, but I think I'm gonna take her back. I'm just breaking this wintermelon down into smaller pieces. I would actually often leave this in bigger pieces like half moon shapes, but I've been seeing my mother-in-law cut her vegetables much smaller than I usually would, so I thought, why not try it her way? If you've never eaten wintermelon, it's very easy to eat. The taste is light and fresh. I love the texture where the inside gets very soft, but the outside tends to still have a slight bite to it. And it's great at absorbing flavors around it. So it makes an excellent soup. I'll need garlic for the soup and for the braised dish, which I'll prep last. I still buy these whole heads of garlic, which I have to go through and peel every damn time I cook. I think I'm becoming more numb to how much of a pain in the ass it always is. I might have to start looking at getting some pre-peeled cloves. We do have it chopped at the stores here for convenience, and not the shitty jars of chopped garlic, but fresh garlic chopped that day. It's not perfect, but it's great to help get dinner out quickly. For this braised dish, I'm gonna slice up some garlic, and the chopped stuff will be for my wintermelon soup. I picked this braised dish because, as I said before, I want to change the focus of the channel a bit. For example, if I do make something, let's say Gordon's meatballs with tomato sauce, those were really tasty and delicious, and I would like to make them again, but I don't have passata readily available to me. It's a pain in the ass to go out and buy compared to cans of tomatoes, and I don't remember that recipe by heart. So I'll have this golden playlist in the future for the dishes that we have made, which I 100% think you should go out and make tomorrow, because it's very possible that it's something you will add into your rotation meals for your family. Plus, I believe it's gonna be easy to memorize. So far, there have only been a few dishes that I've made like that on the channel. The pan-seared salmon with potato salad is a winner. Everyone loves that potato salad, and it's so easy to whip up on a weeknight. Pork schnitzel with the root vegetable remoulade, another winner. These two are already in my rotation. I've made them for my family here in Vietnam, and they love it. The issue with the way I'm doing it now is that after I make a recipe for a video and I record myself giving it a rating, I really haven't had time to reflect on how I really feel about making that dish. Would I make it again? I feel like that's something you can really tell a few days after, not right away when I'm all hyped up on cooking dopamines. Another change we'll make is on memorizing our recipes. I have a giant stack of solid recipes from my culinary school, the CIA, not the secret government agency that specializes in overthrowing nations and assassinating JFK, but the Culinary Institute of America. I want us to dig through those recipes as a sort of going back to school series, Billy Madison. But anyway, sorry for the long-winded explanation. I hope you guys are excited for the change and the future videos coming up. As you can see, I peeled and chopped some taters, precious, and I've cleaned a bunch of green beans, plus scoped out our eggplant in the oven, which is getting nice and toasty in there. Vietnamese vegetable side soups will usually always have some type of protein in there, like chicken, shrimp, or ground pork, and that's what I'm doing today. I often use ground pork mixed with garlic and a few things like salt, MSG, and a specific soup flavoring powder that is like an essential Vietnamese ingredient.
These green onions will get cooked by pouring that hot pork fat and skin over the top of them, and then I season them up with a little bit of sugar, fish sauce, and salt. I don't actually know if that's how other people do it, but it just seemed right to me. And a little pork fat all over my board here. That's okay. As the old saying goes, don't cry over spilled pork fat. These green onions seem seasoned, so that's good to go. The eggplant skin is looking nice and roasted, so I'll just want this to soften up a little bit more, and I'll leave it in the oven. I think this is gonna work out nicely in this oven though, and it's gonna be a really easy go-to eggplant side dish in the future. The Chinese braised dish should use chicken breast, but fuck that. Chicken breasts can just get so dry, and my girlfriend would really rather eat rooster balls than eat chicken breast. She just does not like it. I'm already gonna pour a bunch of pork fat all over the eggplant, so we aren't worried about the food being healthy at this point. I'm using pork shoulder, and if you go to do this, I suggest the same thing or a similar fatty cut of meat. Chicken thighs would probably work very well here too if you would like. Simple, light seasoning of salt and pepper over the pork. I always cook my ground pork and garlic for a bit for these soups just to start off with a nice base of flavor. Otherwise, it'll just taste too much like boiled garlic water, and nobody wants that in their life. Nice hot oil to create a sear on our pork if we can. Again, just adding another layer of flavor to our food. You don't have to cook this for too long. We just want to get a bit of color on the meat if we can. This pan I bought not too long ago. I was so excited about it, and it really took me forever to learn how to use it properly. And unfortunately, the seasoning on it isn't strong enough to stand up to what I'm about to do to it with the water and soy sauce, but we're gonna do it anyway. This pan needs to learn to stand up on its own 2 feet in my kitchen. You see, I've tossed in my garlic and cooked that a bit, and then I just added the green beans and the potatoes. I'm gonna add a little too much dark soy sauce, followed by the correct amount of light soy sauce. This is a 1-to-1 ratio, so you want the same amount of dark soy sauce and light soy sauce. Then I'm gonna add too much water to try and fix my dark soy sauce mistake. See, there's always a way to fix your mistakes, hopefully. This braise here is looking more like a stew, which is incorrect. Don't do that. I'll go ahead and take some water out of here later with a cup, but this doesn't have to cook that long, just long enough for your taters to get nice and soft. As you saw, this recipe is so damn simple, and it's really good. If you don't want to overcook the green beans, you could always just add those a bit later so they retain some color, but I truly don't mind. Just throw it all in at once and call it a day. Not everything has to be crazy complicated. It's just dinner. And I'll have the correct ratio of ingredients for you in the comment section, along with the props to where I stole and adapted this recipe from. The eggplant is just gonna be cut up. I was later told that I shouldn't have left the skin on, but I like it. So I'll do it again in the future and say that I forgot. Adding the green onions and pork fat over the top, and this baby is done. I'll get the braise into a serving bowl because of course we have to eat this family style. And we have our rice, eggplant, braise, and soup. Dinner's ready.